Hello ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, and this is going to be the losers match from the MST Group 7. It's going to be Modesty and Luxury. Should be a pretty fun ZVZ here. Both these players are pretty good at the matchup. Modesty definitely a Zerg specialist, as I said previously, and Luxury used to be a top-notch versus Zerg player. We'll see if he can kind of try to regain that form here. This is going to be once again on match point, both winners and losers match occurring on match point. And personally, I'm going to be favoring Modesty in this match. Maybe that's a little bit of my STX bias. Maybe that's, I don't know. But Luxury it's been a while since Luxury looked on top of his game. So I find myself having a lot of difficulty believing that Luxury is up for a high-level game unless until I see something else. Until I see something special out of him, I'm going to doubt it. Let's just put it that way. Just to give you the start positions, we're going to have Luxury in the top right in red. The Reds are top right, KT Rolster. And at the bottom left, STX Soul. In yellow, that is going to be Modesty. Now, these two players have played once previously. Last year in, what's the 5th month? May. Last year in May, they played on Battle Royale with Modesty taking the win. Now, I obviously have no idea what happened in that match, but Battle Royale, I don't know if you guys were not watching, we're not following the scene very closely last year. Battle Royale for the couple of rounds that it was in the Pro League was just a really dumb map in terms of how it ended up playing out in Pro League. It was just every game became Zerg versus Zerg. There was just nothing else. I'm trying to think. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 non-Zerg players to get a win on that map. I think Up Magic got one, and maybe Firebat Hero might have gotten one. But for the most part, if there was a Zerg on that map, a Zerg won virtually every single time. So it just turned into a ZVZ fest. It's kind of depressing because it was a really cool looking map. The map was really cool. It had like a simulators, like if you are familiar with Troy, had a simulators that you could blow up to restrict movement outside of your natural. It had like phase disruptors and things that like blocked your movement to the outer ring of the map. It was a very, very cool map. Just very depressing that it turned into a ZVZ fest. Looks like for the opening build, I think Modesty, did Modesty go 12 hatch? I think Modesty may have gone 12 hatch. Yes, he did. I mean, that hatchery has a lot of health. I believe that's a 12 hatch from Modesty. And on a 2-player map, usually that's kind of a suicidal build. But oh wait, Luxury went 12 hatch too. So both these players going 12 hatch, both these players going heavy, heavy economic builds. And we'll see if either of these players, sometimes there can be a differentiation. One player may race to Mutalisk quicker, while the other player maybe builds up Zergling forces. Now that is usually the point where there's a huge diversion. If that diversion does occur, of course it's always possible that both players decide to mass Zerglings, or off of their 2 hatchery, or both players decide to go to Mutalisk quicker. And it looks like the first 100 gas for Luxury being spent on a lair. We'll see what the first 100 gas for Modesty is being spent on, and it looks like a lair as well. So both players are going to be going to Mutalisk as quickly as they can. First 100 gas going to lair, second 100 will be going to the spawning pool, the Zergling speed, once they can. But yeah, going to be no early pressure from either of these players, unless someone has a micro error or is able to somehow get a surround on his opponent's Zerglings. I think this is going to advance to the lair stage pretty easily. Both these players investing quite heavily in that lair tech, so that's a lot less Zerglings than you would have if possibly you delayed that for some more Zerglings early on. It looks like Modesty actually getting a couple attacks there with his Zerglings there on Luxury, so I think he's got one more attack in on Luxury's Zerglings than have been dealt to him, so a little bit of an advantage there, and Luxury being forced to retreat here, and that little ramp, it looks like some guidance, some AI problems there, and now Luxury being reinforced here, and now as long as he doesn't lose any drones, that's going to be good for Luxury, because he was able to delay producing Zerglings as long as possible, maybe was able to produce an extra drone, and in ZVZ, that is really the key, is can you sneak a drone in here, can you sneak a drone in there that your opponent isn't expecting. That Zergling did get a kill. Some poor micro by Luxury. That should never happen. A single Zergling in that situation should not be picking off a drone. And it looks like another one may happen. What are you doing? Luxury deserves to lose right now. I am so disappointed. That is just... I hate to say it, but that is, for a professional StarCraft player, that is kind of pathetic. That is really bad. To lose 2 drones in that situation, each one to one individual Zergling. To lose 2 drones to an individual Zergling. That is awful. That is absolutely awful. I don't even know how else to describe it other than awful. And I'm really disappointed right now in Luxury. That's such a huge hurt to him in ZVZ to be 2 drones down. That I mean, he's just playing from behind, playing catch up now, hardcore, and it wasn't necessary with some decent micro, not even great micro, just decent micro. We would have been fine there. And now Luxury's, oh my god, Luxury playing with fire, almost losing a couple Zerglings there on the ramp. And actually, it looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a surround here by Modesty again. And for a second there, he had a better concave there, but Luxury's smart enough to pull out. And now Luxury actually getting the better concave, and you're actually able to kill off a lot of Zerglings for Modesty. And now we'll see if he's able to do any counter damage here. That's gonna be really important. Can he do some counter damage? And actually has a Zergling advantage right now. So a nice attack here by Luxury, able to get a Zergling advantage here, and actually able to maintain a Zergling advantage. Wow, Luxury actually might be able to win here. As disappointed as I am in Luxury's play, it looks like he's able to just spam Zerglings and is able to get a Zergling advantage right now, and able to do a ton of damage, able to delay a ton of mining. I think he's only killed 1 drone so far. So is he able to kill more drones? Will he be able to? We've got Mutalus in the air from Modesty. Mutalus is starting to pick at these Zerglings, and I think 1, maybe 2 drones have died so far. And Modesty, it looks like he's going to survive this. Maybe, I cannot differentiate the goo. I want to say 2, maybe 3 total drones have gone down. So both players have lost about the same number of drones, but Modesty has 5 Mutalus in the air. Now he's going to be able to take down an Overlord that, you know, what the hell is it doing there? Luxury forgot to move it away, and I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's pretty standard in ZVZ that after a while you move that Overlord away just to if your opponent decides to chase it down and takes their Mutalus out of position. I think Modesty is actually there in the center of the map to the north a little bit. I think that's his Overlord, and it looks like Luxury's gonna lose another Overlord. So Luxury, what the hell? I mean, that looked pretty cool. Luxury was very, very close to taking this, but the reason he was close to taking that was because 5 eggs for Modesty